Today, we're going to cover the first 4 creative flights that we're recommending in 2022 to any brands that comes and works with us. So my hope today is that you can take this playbook and apply it to your own situation and starts to see growth on the platform. So the first creative test we do, I'm gonna have to be honest, it's not really a creative test at all. Instead, it's really more focused on, updating some historical ads in a low risk way while we're training the pixel. So we can spend a whole nother video deep diving the GrowthHit approach to pixel training. In this phase, we're really going to recommend launching 1 to 3 creatives that are based on historical data and that follow some tried and true templates that we have at GrowthHit. So we can cover what those templates are later on, but the first test again is really about restructuring the account and not shaking the boat too much with creative so that we can be sure that we're adequately comparing the new structure results against the old ones and that it's not necessarily creative really driving the needle. So why might you want to restructure the account? Of course, if you're with a new agency, typically they're going to have opinions on what the best structure is based on their in-house data and experiments. But there could be other reasons you might structure an account that have nothing to do with change in management. It could be that you're exiting a really peak seasonality. Maybe Q4 is wrapping up and you really scaled hard, and now you're trying to phase into Q1, wind things down, and so the structure that you have may no longer be appropriate. The second experiment that we're going to do for creative is a visual test. So the purpose here is to test a variety of images to quickly identify top and bottom performers. This should include 3 to 5 versions. The ads should be highly similar with the focal image swapped. Here are some examples of what that looks like. So you'll notice the templates are very much the same, but the hero image, the hook image, if you will, differs. So we can start to learn some basic things about what our audience is responding to. The third experiment we like to do is introduce a wildcard. So get your team together, tell them the sky is the limit. What's the $1 million idea they have? Maybe we can't produce it immediately. We don't all have Super Bowl. Get out of the comfort zone. Try something different, a big swing, something visually that's not similar to what you have. The wild card is both logically easy to understand, but it can be very challenging to come up with something that really pushes the envelope. But the goal here really is at least once a quarter, probably more often than that, I would say. You should be introducing something that really shifts the paradigm of what creative you're running. They're not all going to win. Maybe 2 out of 10 of them are a hit, and maybe 8 out of 10 of them flop. But this is how you're going to rapidly learn through the iterative process, because if you're only making tweaks in very small ways, it's going to take a really long time to get a big ROI gain. For every brand, it's very different, so I really encourage creativity here. And finally, the last experiment we do in this first 4 flights or first 4 sprints is a messaging overlay test. So this is going to actually build off of experiment number 2, the visual test. So we're going to take the style of visual that worked best, and then we're going to update it with multiple value propositions or benefits or use cases. You could take a variety of angles here, but the primary purpose is the same. We're going to test 4 different text overlays to see what hooks people the best. So here's a great example using some wonderful pet themes. And you can see that the format's very similar, the template's very similar. Really, we're just leaning into what copy is different. And you may want to mirror this copy in the message. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the first 4 experiments that the GrowthHit team has come up with. We really believe in this playbook to get things moving fast. And of course, the iteration does not stop after 4 sprints. It is an ongoing process. The creative data feedback loop never ends because the market's always changing, and we know even just within ourselves, we personally are always growing and always developing and always coming up with new ideas we want to try. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, of course, the usuals. We also have from our CEO, Jim Huffman, he wrote a book called The Growth Marketer's Playbook. Highly recommend it. I personally like to read it, and many of our clients have read it and enjoy it. If you're interested in more insights like this, I encourage signing up for our newsletter, and we'll continue to update on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you all have a beautiful and lovely rest of your day.